All right, we are live. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. I am Violet Hyena. You are here with perfect timing. I am here to do readings for people with perfect timing. And the game here is that I have 13 decks, and they have a lot to say. So I use a regular playing card deck to choose which one gets to speak. And I do see that John is already in chat. Hi, John. How you doing? And Ruby's in chat. Hi, Ruby. Welcome, everybody. How soon will I get my new job? Ooh. Timing deck. Cosmic Timing Oracle deck. So, okay, open. Bing. There we go. And we do see that the questions are piling on, making a list. Okay. Ruby, John, Ruby. And then John again. All right. Okay. John, please don't be mean to the cards. They will strike back verbally. John, we believe in the heart of the cards here. Okay, but first for Ruby's, how soon will she get her new job? Let's see. Ooh, sooner than expected. Very pretty card, too. Here we go. Sooner than expected. Okay, that's Ruby's. Isn't the temp agency calling? I'm gonna ask the cards. Okay. A deck for John. I'm opening it up for all the cards. Ooh, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Every little thing you do is magic, you know. Okay, so why isn't the temp agency calling John? The Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands does have to do with work. I mean, the beaver is the representation of the working animal. Five of Wands. There's something, so there is competition in the work. There is competition in the temp agency. And they have to choose between a lot of people. Alright. Oh, Three of Swords. And this is the card of heartbreak, but I do sense that this is more emotion, this is more of logic cutting through emotion. So this is okay, fine. The logic of it is that they are swamped with a lot of people wanting jobs, and they have to choose by competition who gets the job. And that is why the temp agency is not calling. They have to make good choices and put people in good places. And that's a lot of pressure. Alright, I hope that helps you out, John. And then Ruby. Can I get... Okay, number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The Gators. How can you get your new job? How can Ruby get the new job? Okay. How will Ruby get it? Ah, a Mastery of Coins. This is honestly probably one of the best cards you can get for this Ruby. So, the Mastery of Coins is something that is lined up for you. How can I get... So you have the experience. You just have to go on a journey to get the job. And in the end, it's going to be emotionally worth it. That's good. That's a good lineup. You just have to go on a journey to get that job, and it's going to be worth it. This is a victory in emotion. This is a victory card. So you are going to get the job. How you're going to get it is by going and doing everything, even if it doesn't seem logical, because this is the beginning of your journey. This is the beginning of your career journey. So you have to do everything and anything that you need to make it work. And have fun along the way. It is the Fool, after all. And John says, I'm not blaming you, it's the cards. Yeah, please don't blame the cards. They're not here to be bullied. Okay, how does my life partner look? Okay. And we're back to... I'm gonna have a drink first, and then I'm gonna make a new list. Because a lot popped up. Ah. Ooh, very good. Everyone hydrate, please. Okay, how does my life partner look like? That's Ruby's. Ruby's on the board. And Ruby says, is he Egyptian like me? And John says, I got into my investments, so you know it helps. At least you have investments to fall back on. A lot of people don't. So, you have a blessing that maybe many people don't. That's awesome. That's good. Okay, Ruby says, will our marriage house be in Egypt or outside? Will his family be decent and kind to me, with me? And John says, I have to trust that it's gonna work out. That's pretty much the deal. Yeah, we all gotta trust that it's gonna work out. You got it, dude. And Parla Sludge says, Fish had to assist at the emergency room at a clinic campus. Things are better. That's good. Good for you. And Parla Sludge says, a penguin waving, debris piles do happen. Agreed. That's a very nice way to put it. And best of luck with the overseas move. Move? Well, I'm not sure what move. Be careful while traveling. Oh yeah, always, fun travels, safe travels. I need... Let's see here. I have got up on chat, so I'm gonna do Ruby's questions. How does my life partner look like? There we go. And then we're gonna pick a deck. How does my life partner look like? We need a deck that is good. That looks like people. cat deck. Don't think there are many people in here, but maybe there's a description in the cards. Introduce what he looks like. Let's find out. The cards have a plan. The cards always have a plan. Okay, so what does he look like? Okay, we have the Six of Wands. So victory in action. We have the Nine of Swords, which is usually a very... That card is usually like emotional baggage and misery. So, let's see, victory in skills and bowls. Four of Cups. So a little bit of boredom. Do not believe that this is the correct deck for this question. However, I can use it to... So I will come back to that one and see if we can get a better deck to get a partner and what he looks like. Let's see. We're going to answer the question, is he Egyptian? Ooh. Flippies. Okay. So King of Swords, yes. He is Egyptian like you. See, King of Swords, which is really good. So he's very logical. A King of Swords. So he's very logical. He uses his brain a lot. This card is actually indicating that he's a cute chubby tabby. So he might be a cute chubby guy. But I will look into another deck, see if we can get a visual on a human. See, will marriage place. Will a marriage house be in Egypt or outside? Will the marriage house be in Egypt or outside? Got it. Will the marriage house be in Egypt? It will be in Egypt. However, looking in the actual card, this is the Tower, which is worrying. I mean, so this is a yes, but a warning. In both structure and policies, or not policies, but in how you build your household, this is a warning for building the foundation of the house correctly. And that is not only structurally, but emotionally. If you do not build your house or household correctly, it will be built. I have no doubt that it will be built and you'll run it for a while, but then the cracks will start to show in the foundation if it's not well built. So make sure you have good moral and good builders building the house, if it comes to that. Alright, so I leave that to you. Just, make sure it's the home that you want to build and stick by those standards. Don't let anyone rock your boat when it comes to building that house. Oh, there's more. Hold on. Will his family be decent and kind? We're gonna find that first. Sorry, got you. I did things too fast, man. Sometimes there's muscle memory and putting cards back after questions, but if it's the same person, then usually the cards want to stick with it. Will his family be decent and kind with me? It's a very fair question. Will the family be decent and kind with her? The answer is yes. And it is the world. So the universe is with you, just like that family is. It's going to be a very good place for everyone to come together and connect. So this is very good. They're going to be very decent and kind with you. This is a major arcana. This is not something to snuff at. This is very good. Very good for you. I'm very happy. Alright, so now let's find you a good deck with human characters that will reveal what he looks like. I No, you. You and you have human characters. So let's pick between these 3 decks. Okay, so how does the life partner look like? Okay, we got Queen. So 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Robin Wood Terrier. Put these boys back. Let's find out what that life partner looks like. Okay, so nope, that's not a person. But again, it is enforcing the swords. He's very skilled. Maybe this one. Let's see if there's. Okay, so we're getting blondes, but we see no faces yet. Happy family. Well, this is a good card. Like, the overall picture, happiness and well-built family. But these cards are indicating blonde. Blonde with long hair. With many skills, but again, mental baggage. Like, this card was also from the cat deck. The 9 of Swords. But we're indicating a happy life. Like, it's definitely, like, the cards are definitely telling me a blonde hair. Lots of skills. Very smart, but very also, there's mental baggage or history baggage there, or trauma baggage. But yeah, that is what the cards tell me. Blonde, and I think we established earlier Egyptian. And they're chubby. So I think that's a good description. Okay. And then I have caught up on chat. I'm going to make a new list. I'm going to get hydrated. Good stuff. See, best of luck with the... Yeah, so Parla Slouch, be careful while traveling. Yes, safe travels to everyone. And John says, Violet, what witchcraft books do you recommend? I don't own many books on specifically witchcraft. I can't recommend any because I do not really strongly have any witchcraft books that I use on the regular. Yeah, that's my answer. I don't really have one. Sorry. You're gonna have to find other recommendations somewhere. Ellipses in a speech bubble. I've seen certain cartomancy decks that are arranged in which 1866 author Victoria Lenormand with physical appearances placed under Scorpio and is that one Pisces? And the other astrological sign. That one's skipping my brain for a moment, but I know the first one is Scorpio. And Parla says, however, I question a manuscript that has been written from French to English. That's fair. Likes old books, but doesn't know how accurate they are. Casket wonders at times which decks can do certain things. And Parlasot says, gotta reposition the office furniture BRB tight room. Go for it. Desert rocks dwellings are challenging to break into. Ellipses, there are those days one feels blah, just not that into things. Ruby, you gotta trust it's gonna happen, it's reality. You gotta trust. And Preston says, hello everyone, 100% Canada, Yellow Heart and USA. Hi, Preston. Welcome. And yes, you may ask your question. And Parlaslut says, BRB, I gotta take care of someone's eye drops. And John says, cards are helpful, but you have to trust in the answer you're given. Yes. And John says, cards reflect your current state of mind in the moment. Very true. You gotta think of them as like mirrors. So what you believe, assume, expect. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And Parloslav says, I would have grabbed a different oracle, but as long as it works for you. Shopping cart, figured out what other kinds of systems one likes to use best, such as poly-sided deck. Poly-sided dice. My comments, sir, on poly-sided dice. Oh, I love my poly-sided dice. I love them a lot. Okay, well, I have caught up on chats. And there are no more questions. I'm picking an oracle deck. And Polislouch smiles. Yay! Violet, have you ever used Lemorant cards? No, I have not. It's an experience. A good experience? I don't know much about those. Alright, so Lenormand. I'm doing quick research. I'm doing quick research. Oh, okay. They are like tarot cards. And they come together to act like a story. You can read them right to left, left to right. Interesting. Have you done bone casting? I have not done bone casting. I already know that bone casting is not my thing. I don't want to be throwing around bones. They do interactive things like in tight squares, get two significant characters speak in symbols. If you can design a comic book in a page, you can read Lenormands. Okay, yeah. It sounds like a puzzle. For a future thing to do, but right now I'm still really digging into tarot cards. Has Ahmed ever loved me? That's a very good question. Let's ask the cards for Ruby. If you've played the Sims video game, you'll understand Lemorant. Well, I have played The Sims, and that was fun. I'm gonna pick a deck for Ruby. And John says, I have a Rider-Waite deck. Never used Lemorant cards. How did he see me as a person? Okay. Picking a deck for Ruby. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Every little thing you do is magic. Excuse me, you know. Has Ahmed ever loved Ruby? Has Ahmed ever loved Ruby? And the answer is yes. And the star is a very positive major arcana. So he has loved you with hope and looking at your better traits. And he sees you as a glowing star, even. And that's kind of romantic. That's cute. So yes, he has loved you. Okay, and from that, I am going to start making a list because I believe Francis came in, so I'm going to make a list. So I'll get back to Ruby's second question in a bit. Okay, Ruby's second question is, did he miss me? However, he was rejecting our return. And John says, I have a Rider-Waite deck. Never used Lemort cards. How did he see me as a person? Seriously? Try Lemort at least once. I will not try Lemort unless the universe brings me a Lemort person to play it with me. I have a lot to do. I can't promise anything. And Francis says, hi Violet, how are ya? I am almost hydrated. Hold on. I gotta hydrate. I'll let you say that. I am now hydrated. Thank you for the reminder. And request energy reading for Francis today, please. So Francis is on the board. And John says Lemort focuses on direct, literal, and action-oriented interpretations. Yes. Paraslash says, Greenheart, you literally get blunt answers with Lemort. And John says, I've gotten Lemort readings before a few times. And John says, bet. Ruby says, did he talk with our mutual friends about me? And Ruby on the list again. And John says, I'm going to try to find some. And John says, current feelings and intentions of Editha towards Francis and vice versa, please. Yes, Francis. And what kind of topics he was talk about. Okay, and then Ruby again. And Brother Search says, someone with muse talents. Grecian mythology muse talents. And John retracted a message. And John says, Violet, do you think you could try Lenormand cards on here? I have a collection of Oracle and Tarot cards. And for me to start a new deck is not on my plate right now. I will not promise anything. And Debbie Kelly says, hello, beautiful heart. And hello, Debbie. And Protestant says, dancing, some decks can be addicting. And Debbie Kelly says, can you please pull a card for me and tell me what the universe has to say? Yes, Debbie. Debbie's on the list. Okay. Alright, so I've caught up on chat. And I'm going up, 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 up. Rubies. Okay, did that one. So, Rubies is, did he miss me? There we go. Did he miss me? However, he was rejecting our return. Okay, so that is the one we're on. Okay, did he miss me? However, he was rejecting our return. Okay, so the base question is, did he miss Ruby? The answer is no, the Two of Swords. So he was making a decision logically, and he has chosen to put you out of his mind for something else. And that is what the cards say. Then, how did he see me as a person? Okay, so how did he see Ruby as a person? How did he see Ruby as a person? So we have, the Hierophant. He saw you as some sort of teacher, some sort of traditional teacher. The Hierophant is a major oracle. He saw you as maybe a teacher or a lesson. So he saw you as, but this one is definitely like teacher. And in the more archaic concept, this is a traditional teacher, like a priest or a priestess, or this is saying like a religious teacher to me, like or traditional values. I think the traditional values, as it could even be like, it's not mother, it's definitely teacher. This is definitely a teacher vibe, but a religious, traditional sort of teacher. This also goes along with the star a little bit, because he can be in awe of your knowledge. So it's a little different than the romantic love. Interesting. So this is more of a wholesome, traditional kind of love. What is it called? I wouldn't call it unconditional love, but more of a universal type of love. Admiration. That's a better word for it. Admiration. For the teaching ability and traditional standards. Traditional standards. Okay, let's see here. Ruby. And then Francis is here. We need energy reading for Francis today. Get Francis a deck. I'm gonna open this up for all of the decks. Okay, so K. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. Money and the law of attraction. It's the information card. We don't read the information card. It's shy. It stays in the box. Energy reading for Francis today. Energy reading. For Francis today. Hi. So we are each responsible for the thoughts we think. When you are in alignment with who you really are, you cannot help but lift those whom you've come into contact. Your value to those around you hinges upon only one thing: your personal alignment with Source. And the only thing you have to give to another is an example of that alignment, which others may observe, then desire, then work to achieve. but you cannot give it to them. Everyone is responsible for the thoughts they think and the things that they choose as their objects of attention. Alright, so Francis, we are responsible for our own thoughts. And that is all you really gotta worry about. That's good stuff. So Francis is, and then I'm gonna have a sip here. I have multiple drinks. And then we have more Ruby here. Did he talk with our mutual friends about me? And I do apologize. I did forget to pin Francis's question, but that's what it was. Did he talk with our mutual friends about me? Deck for Ruby. Number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Prismavision's deck. Did he talk with our mutual friend about me? About Ruby? Did he talk with our mutual friends about Ruby? And the answer is no. Queen of Wands. That was not the action they took. That was an internal decision not to do that. So there was a socially correct decision not to do that. I have a feeling. And then the next one. Francis. Current feelings and intentions of Editha towards Francis and vice versa. Editha. Francis. Feelings and intentions. Feelings, intentions, feelings, and intentions. To Francis. And to Editha. There we go. Oh, we need a deck. We need a deck. We need a deck. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cat turns. Okay, we have the deck, we have the questions. Okay, so Edith, feelings and intentions towards Francis, and Francis's feelings and intentions towards Edith. Ooh, that was a good one. Keeping that one. Alright, so we have feelings and intentions, and feelings and intentions. Okay, what do we got? So, Edith's feelings are the moon, which is a major arcana, and the intentions are the 7 of Pentacles. So she feels like you're very mysterious. So your intent, she feels like you and your actions are filled. She feels like you're behind a veil with your intentions. And you could be a wolf or you could be a dog. And I mean that in the tarot sense. Like, the moon card has a dog and a wolf in it, where it's the tame civil person or it's the wild dog, and she doesn't know which one she's gonna get sometimes. And then we have the 7 of Treats, which is the 7 of Pentacles. So her intentions with you are money-based. It's not a serious one, but she is observing the money issue when it comes to you. Like, that takes up a lot of her mind. And then the feelings towards Editha is, what we have? We have the 6 of Treats. So that is the 6 of Pentacles. And that's a victory number for coins. So you... Well, first, this cat looks very happy. Just gonna say that for feelings. You feel very comfortable, feel very victorious, feel very comfy money-wise and resources. So as a team, you're both kind of on par with monetary values. That's pretty stable. And then for intentions towards Edith, the 9 of Pentacles. So again, resources. Victorious resources, like a lot of resources. This is a lot of wealth, health, and resources kind of energy between you two. You feel totally comfortable. She feels like you are veiling something a little wild. But it's not a bad thing. It's just a normal caution. But everything here seems very positive. Alright, I hope that helps you out, Francis. Oh, I didn't turn it. Sorry. There we go. And then we have Ruby again. What kinds of topics? What kind of topics he was talking about? I'm going to open that one up for all of the decks because I think that question should be altered a bit to what kind of topics he likes talking about. Because I don't understand where to put the rest of that sentence. And what kind of topics he was talking about. You know, I'm just going to open that up for all of the cards for interpretation. And what kind of topics he was talking about, because I got no clue. If we don't know, we ask the cards. Queen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Getting into the vortex. Alright, so we have an information card. Don't look, it's shy. It stays in the box. It stays in the box. What kind of topics he was talking about? I don't know. I'm gonna let the cards speak. Okay. So, what kind of topics he was talk about? I intend to see the best in everyone. You can never consistently motivate anybody to do anything, but when you see the best of them and you go over to where your version of the best of them is, and you aligned with that and offer one signal, now you are part of the inspiration you see. Have you ever had that experience yourself when someone sees you and loves you and expects the best of you? Do you not shine in ways you've never shined before? And do you not find it really hard to shine when another does not look for the best in you? Alright, I really feel like this last paragraph is hitting upon your question, so I'm going to read it again. Have you ever had the experience yourself when someone sees you and loves you and expects the best of you? Do you not shine in ways you've never shined before? And do you not find it really hard to shine when another does not look for the best in you? Alright, I hope that helps you out, Ruby. Ruby. This is going to be Ruby or Debbie. There's Debbie. Debbie, pin the Debbie. Okay. Need a deck for Debbie. We need a deck for Debbie. Boom, boom, boom. We need a deck for Debbie. We need a deck for Debbie. Do-do-do-do-do-do. A deck for Debbie. Do-do-do-do-do. A deck for Debbie. Do-do-do. Queen! So, getting into the vortex again. What does the universe have to say to Debbie? This is the information card. We don't read the information card. It's shy. Don't look, it's in the box. There we go. Okay, we have here my intend to co-create from my place. I intend to co-create from my place of positive attraction. The individual creators who are coming together must be in a place of positive attraction before they come together, or nothing positive can come out of the co-creation. If you are negatively focused and not feeling good, you can only attract others who are in the same state of negative attention. That is why looking for a mate from a place of insecurity or lack of anything can never bring you the mate you really want, but instead brings one who amplifies your current lack. So, to get to good things, you must focus upon good things, please. Thank you. Hope that helps you out, Debbie. I'm gonna have a sippy on my drinky winky. Now it's time to catch up on chat. Ooh, we've been live streaming for an hour and 15 minutes already. Just as a reminder, I only stream for 2 hours at a time. Okay, gonna catch up on chat. Let's see what you guys have been up to. And John says, I mean, it would take a while to learn it. So, John, that is the reason why I will probably not be bringing it here anytime soon. If you have interest in it, go ahead and go watch it somewhere else. Because it's just not in my itinerary. And Protoslush says, clown face, sometimes Sibylla style decks have a way to get under someone's skin, unless you use them for creative writing. Kavitha Tarajnan and Nigeria and Jana Siri 25.03 2005. What's the nature of future spouse reading? Well, Cavi. Hello, Cavi. Welcome. Thank you for subscribing. I will put you on the list, and then I will get back to your question in a bit. So, Cavi, all right, you are on the list, which means I will get to your question. I'm going to catch up on chat first, though, and then I'm going to come back and do the entire list. So thank you for your patience. I will get to your question. And Powerless Slouch says, I would have pulled out court cards and figure out which significator would you want to be versus the other. And Proloslach says, Egypt is pretty much like that. Proloslach, is someone into sculpting and hieroglyphics? I don't think that's a tarot card question. I think that is a chat question. So I'm not going to put that on the list. You like papyrus scrolls. The chat moved on me, so that's why there's a pause there. Paper making is important for some reason. Ooh, money and the law of attraction deck. Yes. It is one of my favorites. And John says, I mean, we have the power cards, don't they just reflect? I mean, we have the power cards, don't they just reflect? I'm not sure if that's a Lamont reference or not. Lamont's card reference. Harlow says, such as finding missing puzzle pieces. Lizard ellipses couldn't find the puzzle emoji. I mean, that is pretty close to a puzzle shape. And John says, I could use Lenore and I have to learn to pronounce this. It's Lenormand. 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 Lenormand cards. Lenormand. I will eventually get it. Lenormand. 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 There we go. Cards for points of intentions, I guess. And gloves emoji. Used to enjoy that deck system, but remember, folks have opinions. And John says, Waxing Moon is out. Yay, Waxing Moon. Building to that lovely full moon. Palasach says, oh wow, I'm at the Pacific time zone, still waiting for that moon to show up. Moonology caught my attention, card decks, but so did a lot of other systems. Moonology. I mean, I have that Oracle deck. Moon, water. I'm in Minnesota. Hi, John in Minnesota. And Palasach says, Joker card, thought, action. And John says, I live near the Mississippi. And Palasach says, ellipses, cat tarot has a different logic. It really does. It is my most silly deck. Let's see. John says, downtown overlook. Parla says, ellipses could be values. And John says, we're going to Iowa soon. Should be nice. And Parlaslouch says, easy to get values / money to fall under pentacles. And Parlaslouch says, Evil Eye, please, for the love of ellipses, don't watch Stepford Wives 2006 movie, John. And Parlaslouch says, puzzle piece. Yay, I'm glad you found the puzzle piece. Don't watch that particular film. It will trigger you. And John says, never heard of it. And Parla says, puzzle piece, Ahmed, what does anyone know or doesn't know yet? And John says, well, we're driving up the North Shore to Ontario. Should be fun. And Parlaslouch says, joystick video game remote controlled family members. I like real people, not what you find at Radio Shack. Snake Eyes in Dice. Is someone hoping for a 7 or a 12, but you get Snake Eyes? And John says, I don't think we have that around here. And Parla says, that card keeps showing up. The love card with black lipstick. Oh, I think you're talking about the Queen. Yeah, that's the love emote. Like these. This playing card deck is called the Emotions deck, so it has emotions like love, dazed again. We have fear, we have sadness, we have anger. I mean, it's not my most favorite deck, but my Harry Potter ones were disintegrating in my hands, so I pulled out this one, and this one's a little bit more hardy. They're very flexible and very nice to shuffle, so I've been sticking with this one for a while. It's actually really funny how fast I've burned through 2 decks of playing cards while doing tarot card readings. But I still have all my tarot cards, and they're very hardy. But, yeah, so I need a decent deck of playing cards. These have been doing okay, but they're also newer. They're not cracking yet. They're not disintegrating in my hands. Parlasach says, been watching some awful film from 1976, Death a Love Mansion, having to do with some celebrity actress that's an Earthbound. And Akitana movie, it says. And Akita says, "Hi, ma'am." "Hi, Akita." Parasouch says, "It's worse than death becomes her. The film's so cheesy." And Akita says, "Can you please pull cards for me if things will get better for me and R? I am unable to stay without him." So I will put Akita on the list. Awesome. And then Gio says, "Hi, I'm Gio Shmi. Ma'am, could you please tell me what's going on Anuji's mind right now? Hi, I'm Iola Lakshmi. Ma'am, could you please tell me what's Anuji's mind right now?" Hello, Gio. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for subscribing. I would like to request that you only post questions once. I understand that you could have posted once and the system could have done it twice on you, which is the system's fault. But just for future reference, please only post questions once. Thank you. And I will put you on the list to read your question. So, Jill, see, you are on the list. I will get back to you after I catch up on chat. Okay, and John says, "I wish we had Waffle House here. I've been there before." Violet, it's just typos. What's just typos? What's typos? Typos what? Typos. Okay, so, okay, John, you said Violet is just typos. I'm not sure which we're referring to because there is a lag and catching up on chat is quite the adventure. So let me know which typos we're referring to. Runes are basically like tarot. They show upright and reversed. And John says, "Yes, we are with my money." Clown face. And Parasouch says, "8-ball yo-yo. Fascinating, however. Oops, sorry about the paper stock with few decks. We burn through decks so fast." Playing cards are not meant for this job. I will, again, I want to go to using my poly-sided dice because I like dice. Sometimes Apple does that. Oh, Aries. Taurus. Sagittarius. We burn through decks so fast. Sometimes Apple does that. John says, "Then I look 2K 2000 is gone without my knowledge because we split it on the trip." Yeah, that happens. Paula says, "I've noticed when using Apple products, tend to copy double the typos." Yeah. So, usually I don't come down hard on people if it's like a first folly. Okay, and Paula says, "Maybe Microsoft just doesn't know how to handle Apple." I fundamentally think Apple's going way downhill without Mr. Jobs. So I don't have high opinion with Apple. It's very clicky and expensive. So I leave that to the clicky and expensive people. And John says, forget it. Okay, forgotten. And Parlosludge says, hook, magnet. Always curious with product testing, cartomancy decks. And John says, it's damn expensive, but I can afford it, so I get it. Lol. You go ahead, but I have, like, Apple is just, it is simplistic if you want the simplistic. I just need the more complex. I really do. I really like the complex layers. And I'm used to it, and I can get around stuff a lot easier. And Apple is like, it's one system based, and it has its purpose, and that's great. It's just not for me. And Francis says, question, current feelings and intentions of Victoria towards Francis and vice versa. Alright, so John. No, Francis. Francis is on the list. There we go. And John says, but Violet, I agree it's too expensive. You got it, sir. You got it. It's just... It's like a Brita water system. It is exactly like a Brita water system. You put the Brita filter in a Brita water system, and it does that job beautifully. But anything else you want to do with that Brita water system, don't quite work. No. It's just used for that one function. You cannot also make coffee with that Brita water filter. It just doesn't work that way. It has one function. Having money makes things easier. I like money. I have no problems with money, and it does make things so much easier. I mean, to be fair, our society does run on money. And that is our trade, which is an established money system. So yes, I do love money. But I need the money to be used on things that are functional for me. Having money makes things easier. Gear, try different systems like Pure. Pure is nice. I've had Pure. Still a water system. Still can't make coffee. or tea. Actually, because it does not heat the water. So now it's down to personal preference. It is. A lot of things are. And that's fine. That is why there's so many products, because they're personal tastes. And you gotta... You know what? We really are blessed with how many options we have these days. I mean, there's so many options. And it's glorious to have all of these options. When we didn't have them 10, 20 years ago, we are truly blessed with options. We have expensive options, we have cheap options, we have options that work, and then we have junky concept options that are like, okay, this is cool, but no, and then nobody expanded on them. So we have a really good variety of options of everything, and it's really cool. I respect people's wants and what they like and what what works for them. If somebody finds it works, go with it. Go with it, because it works. Still personal preference. Visit the Home Depot and ask what other opinions are out there. I like Home Depot. Sorry, Home Depot, but it is spelled Depot, so I always have pronounced it Depot. And Francis says, what was the first impression of Sarah towards Francis on Saturday? When she saw me, please. I will get to you. You're on the list already. And John says, I didn't like I got in that accident, but now I have money, so yeah, I know it's a blessing. Look, things happen for a reason. Parla Sludge. Toolbox magnets. Chemistry equipment. Worries about data center. Dumping ponds. Need filter botanicals. And John says, did I know I got in an accident when the car crashed? And Francis says, question, what are the current feelings of Anna towards Francis and vice versa? Alright, so I do believe I've caught up on chat, and now I can go back and do questions. Oh, another one from John. Violet, I'm sorry I keep making typos. WTF. I'm looking for your typos, dude. Did I know I got into an accident when the car crashed? Did I know I got in the accident? Yeah, there is a grammatical error. Sometimes my brain just corrects things and just kind of goes with it. Like, unless it's really a mystery, I don't really tend to dwell on it too much. You're forgiven. No problem. Parlous Lodge says, chains and hook. Vehicle accidents can be awful. Meds are the worst. Alright, so now I believe I've caught up on chat. I'm going to do this list. And let's see, where is Kavi? Here we go, Kavi. Thank you for your patience, Kavi. Okay, so we need a deck. What's the nature of future spouse reading? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Robinwood Tarot. Thank you everyone for your patience. Okay, what is the nature of future spouse reading? The nature of future spouse. Ooh, the King of Cups is the nature of the future spouse. And that is a man who's calmly sitting on his throne and being emotionally aware, emotionally calm. Like, in rough waters, he is emotionally and logically stable. He's not rocked by all this upset like he used to be. He's a more mature, emotional adult. And that's important to have in any future spouse. Someone who is not going to crumble when things get emotional. So a very stable, emotional man. Awesome. Good for you. I hope that helped you out, Cavi. And again, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. And Ankita, 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 Ankita. It's a long way down. We've had quite a lot of good conversation today. There we go. There's Ankita's question. Okay, can you please pull up a card for me if things get better for R? There. Stick away and draw a new deck for Ankita. Oh, excuse me. Okay, and for Ankita, 3. 1, 2, 3, supernatural deck. No, hee hee. I caught them all. Apparently, they want a lot of shuffling. If things. Can you please pull cards for me if things will get better for me and R? I am unable to stay without him. So, will things get better with R? Will things get better with R? Will things get better with R? Jumpy. Will things get better with R? Very jumpy tonight. Will things get better with R? That's so jumpy. There we go. Okay, no. No, they will not get better with R. The Page of Blades. So they won't get better with R. I see a youth who is trying hard to cram a lot of information. Maybe a little overwhelmed by it all. So no, things aren't going to get better. And it just... This feels like a youth. There is a lot of overwhelming energy. And in okay, so the answer was no. We have a youth who's being overwhelmed by information, and I want to say life experience, and it's not going well. And it's just saying, no, this isn't the right thing. So I do apologize to give that message. It's not going to get better. Okay, and then we got Gio. I need a deck for Gio. Okay, a deck for Gio. Number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Prismavisions. Prismavisions deck. Do 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 do. Prismavisions deck. The question is, could you please tell me what's on Anujit's mind? What's on Anujit's mind? What's on Anujit's mind? What's on Anujit's mind? What is on Anujit's mind? That one. See, the King of Pentacles. Money and resources and health. And the King. So what is on the mind is all of the knowledge on how to make all the resources fall into place and organize it and have it work out for you or them. New Jeeths. I don't have a gender on that, but and this is the King of Pentacles, so a male. Could you please tell me what's on Jeeth's mind right now? Is that floating strawberries? It's floating strawberries. So we're definitely like looking at more resources than wealth. But this is the King of Pentacles, so the King of Pentacles knows how to take those resources and turn them into coins. So there is a lot of wealth making here by someone who's experienced in it and enjoys the job, and it's at this point effortless. And there's this beautiful cow in there with But yeah, that is what is on Anujit's mind right now. A lot of wealth and resources. That's good stuff. That's always good stuff. Okay, so here. And then we have Francis. Let's get out a deck for Francis. I know Francis had several questions. Ooh, and I only have 10 minutes left, so I'm only going to be able to answer Francis's questions. And I'm going to see which question we're leaving off at. Okay, so the last question will be, what are the current feelings of Anna towards Francis, vice versa? Because that's all I'm going to have time for. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 Francis questions. And then we're done for the night, because that's all I'm going to have time for. Francis. Current feelings and intentions of Victoria towards Francis. Okay, Victoria Francis. Feelings and intentions. Feelings and intentions. There we go. We need a deck. We need a deck for all of Francis's questions. All of Francis's questions. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Robinwood Tarot. Okay, we have the deck. We have the questions. Okay, so Victoria's feelings and intentions towards Francis, and Francis's feelings and intentions towards Victoria. Let's find out. Okay, so feelings and intentions. And feelings and intentions. Ooh, major arcanas. Alright, let's see here. So for Victoria, we have feelings of the King of Swords. So very logically thought-based, feeling-based. And intentions, we have the 8 of Cups, which is the mastery of cups. And being able to know that those cups are stable. So there's not a lot of action for Victoria towards Francis, there is a calm, emotional place, and a very calm, level-headed King of Swords. So logically, they know what they're doing, and they are ready for battle if it comes to that. They know, and they've seen things before, and they're ready for combat if it calls for it. But they're not going to get into it if it doesn't call for it, because they have this emotional balance. There's a very I get this super calm and peaceful person. I kind of want to know this person. They seem really cool. Victoria, yeah, towards Francis. So, good. And then Francis sees, well, frankly, Francis sees Victoria as an empress, as a mother, as a abundance and mother figure. Possible mother figure. And the intentions are inner strength. So you at least acknowledge all of this. Because the inner strength and bravery is there. There's a lot of mutual respect here. But also with the King of Swords, I feel like there's a lot of wisdom in this Victoria. I really appreciate that with that. That's the feeling I get. There's a lot of wisdom here that they've been through and grown. But you definitely put her on a high pedestal. And it's with abundance and motherhood and in inner strength. So this is a good relationship. A mutual respective one. Okay, I hope that helps you out, Francis, with that one. And then, which was next? What was the first impression of Sarah towards Francis last Saturday when she saw me, please? The first impression of Sarah. The first impression of Sarah. Of Francis. What was Sarah's first impression of Francis? First impression. Okay. Forgive me. It's only like 2 hours. I'm not doing that. First impression is 5 of Cups. Ooh. She did not look for the best of you in your first impression. I'll give you like 3 since it said 15, okay? I'll give you 3. Victory in Swords. So she's taking lessons from before and placing them on you, which calls for the spilled cups, because these are lessons in logic from a defeat. So she's taking what she was defeated in and taking those lessons forward, and so she's looking at those, okay, they are spilled cups, and they're also coming to me, as red flags. So she is looking at your red flags. But there's some hope. There is some hope. But she is still staring at those red flags. But there's still hope. So that's what I can give you on Sarah's first impression. And then what are the current feelings of Anna towards Francis and vice versa? And feelings. What are the current feelings? And Francis and feelings all around. You gotta get the feelings. That one. Okay, that's a nice shuffle. Feelings of Queen of Wands. And okay, so what she has for feelings for hold on. Queen of Wands. The feelings. So the feelings of passion are with the Wands, and the Queen of Wands. Whichever. There is a she feels like a Queen of Wands. So she is very stable in her skills and fire and passion. And I think she shares that towards Francis. And then Francis has a 6 in cups. So there is lots of feelings of nostalgia and childlike love towards Anna. And very sweet sort of gestures towards Anna. And you make her feel like a queen. I like that. I definitely get that. Okay, I see how these tie together. Very nice. Very nice. I hope that helps you out, Francis. Alright. I believe that's all. Yeah, so that is it for questions for the night because I am over my 2-hour mark. I will be back tomorrow. So in 22 hours I can do more readings, but I don't like burning out. So I'm going to clean up, I'm going to have a drink, and then I'm going to read the rest of chat. But no more questions for the night. Bring them tomorrow, and I will happily do them. I'm looking forward to doing more. Unfortunately, right now, because I'm working, I don't have the mental capacity or time to do more than 2 hours, but if, say, I couldn't do this as a full-time job, I would happily do this like twice a day. That'd be nice. Ooh, that's so good. Sorry, I really needed to be hydrated. I haven't hydrated for a long time. Okay, I'm gonna get to chat now. Okay, and then we were at Francis's question. Okay, it says, like typos, vehicle. Pearl Slutch says, a vice grip, soap, on some decks, a tight grip. John says, I'm in pain to this day. My feet hurt all the time. That'll do it. I have meds. Yep. What were they called? MOA heads? I think they were called MOA heads. Ellipses realizes it's not an easy situation. And John says, how did I land when the car accident happened? Well, whether or not that is a card question, ask it again another day, because I can't do any more questions tonight. Soapy Sponge suffered from internal organ damage, liver, kidneys. And John says no. And Pearl says, thank goodness. And John says, I have a plate in my neck that's a replacement for the damaged ligaments. Yeah. And Pearl Slouch says, smoking cigarette. Internal organ damage heals differently than bone, muscle, nerve. And John says, glad that did not happen. I mean, it's like the universe was protecting me. I should be dead. Yeah. Fire extinguisher. Life is strange. Take it one day at a time. And Parlis says, paperclip. 2 paperclips. Map pin. Push pin. Phantom limb syndrome. And John says, yeah. John says, did you do my question? Which question was that? Because I did do one of your questions tonight, John. And Parlis says, best of luck, John. And Parlis says, got to go. And John says, good night, Parlis. And Selma says, hi, madame. What is there in the rest of the month of July with respect to job opportunities, please? Okay, Selma, I would love to answer your question. Unfortunately, we are over the 2-hour mark, and I called no more questions for tonight already. So bring back your question another night. I will be back tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So about 22 hours from now, I will be back and doing more questions. Bring it back then, and then I will happily do your question. And Francis says, thank you for the insightful reading. I really appreciate it. You are very welcome. And John says, how about on weekends you do twice a day? So, I would like to, however, on my weekends, I rest from the work week. Like, I need time to do not so much. And I have to have daytime to help out my grandma. and there's a lot of life stuff that needs to happen, and I can't fill up my schedule like that. I would love to, but it's just not on the agenda right now. And John says, I know you live with your mom. No, I do not live with my mom. I live with my grandmother. And John says, why does Apple auto correct shit? Because Apple sucks. And John says, no problem, I gotcha. Life is hectic. Life gets hectic. It can, but it's also just the normal day-to-day things. There needs to be time to do things. Like on the weekends, I do my laundry and I prepare food for the week, and a lot of things get done on the weekends that does not get done during the weekdays, because during the weekdays I get up for the summer. I'm gonna say for the summer, my schedule has been at about 6 I get up, and then I go to work, and then by about 2:30 I'm done, and then I come home, I rest and eat and become human again, and then at about 8ish I can start doing tarot card stuff. I mean, usually I have a nap in before then too, and that is all energy gathering for all of this. And then I sleep for a little bit more, and then I go back to work. And I don't have much room for anything else during the weekdays. Once school starts up, then everything will be overhauled, and I'll have to figure it out all again. So that's the fun part. It's all being figured out one day at a time. And honestly, it is July 20th. So I have about 2 more weeks of summer, and then my schedule completely gets overhauled. So now I have to get used to a different schedule when school year comes around, which will probably be me having more times in the morning and then going to work in the afternoon, and then coming home and immediately doing tarot card readings. I think that's what my schedule's going to look like. Oh, excuse me. Where was I? Life gets hectic. Oh, scheduling. Scheduling makes things easier. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're busy. I have plans. I don't like to say I'm busy. I'm scheduled because I can make room for things, but then they have to be scheduled in. And that's why it's good to have money. Don't be a slave. I'm not a slave. I have a job. I'm making money. It pays for a lot of things, which I'm very happy about. And hey, this is not slavery. Like me doing YouTube streaming, totally not a slave thing. And I don't have to be doing it. But it is doing a sole purpose for me, which is really great. John says, I literally don't have to work. Do you have kids? I do not have kids. I will never have kids. And that is a life choice. And I am better for it. And I have much more money for it. And my stuff doesn't get ruined all the time. And I don't have to deal with kids whining at me. And I can just come home and it's quiet. And it's beautiful. I'm not ever having kids. So happy with it. And John says, oh, you're going to college. College? I went to college. I'm not currently going to college. No, I'm not going to college. You talked about school. Oh, I am a school bus driver. I know. So, school bus drivers have to go pick up kids. Okay, so I don't technically work at a school anymore. I work for a club. Let's call it a club. I work for a club and we collect kids from the school and we bring them to the club. And they need a school bus to do that because it's just easier to have a school bus line up with the other school buses to pick up kids. It just functionally makes sense and everybody understands how it works. So you get on the school bus, you go to the club, and it doesn't really make any weird stuff happen. I am a school bus driver. I have had experience with real schools, and me a school bus driver, which has given me this fabulous job to where it's just a little bit easier than actually being at a school driving kids home. So I love this job. It's a really good job. And John says, cool. Sounds like something we have there. Maybe? Oh, sounds like something we have here. Yeah, so yeah, probably. I mean, the club I work for is nationwide. It might be the right one. Here, local, my area. Yeah, it's very possible. But as of now, I don't feel comfortable revealing where I work. Just because it's online. I don't know who's watching these videos. I still have people I'm watching out for. But yeah, if your feet are hurting, then I would not suggest being a school bus driver. You need to be very mobile to be able to do that job. Yeah. Alright, well, it is over 2 hours, and I am getting a bit tired, but I have enjoyed everyone having a nice conversation tonight, and I've enjoyed all of your guys' questions. So, everyone, please have a good night, rest well, and I will be back in 22 hours to do more tarot card readings. So, mwah! Good night, love you, bye! And John says, have a good night, waxing moon, yay!